Its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Welcome to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Need to turn my mic on. Good morning, Tampa Bay.
He's back, guys. He's back.
970 WFLA. Talking Fishing, going to be here until 8 o'clock.
Unfortunately, only till 8 o'clock.
That's right. The great John Momola is on the other side of the screen here. His will be the first voice you hear. You want to join us? Your questions, comments, fishing reports, bring them right here. 1-800-969-9352. Lots of stuff to talk about.
You sounded unsure of that phone number.
I did. I was trying. John Momola makes me nervous. You know, anytime the boss is in, it's like something's up. What is up?
Someone's looking over your shoulder.
Exactly. Don't screw up the phone number, Anderson, you schmuck. You damn Packer fan.
Also turn on your mic.
Turn on your mic. Exactly.
Superfluous.
I didn't want to go 0 for 2 there, boss.
Classic.
Yeah.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Exactly. That's right. That's why they have us on at 6 a.m.
Yep. We're good to go.
Right.
They're like, no one listens anyway.
Exactly.
We're okay.
They definitely don't tune in until at least 7, so we're good. Let them get the schmucks out of their system early.
It's like riding a bike.
That's right. All good stuff. Lots and lots of stuff to talk about. Tarpon season in full swing here. I just got back from New York City doing some striper fishing. We've got your favorite season coming up. Red snapper season is upon us.
I thought you meant hurricane season.
Yeah, that will be your favorite season as well.
Hurricane season's here.
It's
open.
I heard, is there like 3 named storms out there already or something?
There's a bunch of tropical waves down there for sure. I'm just, for now, just like burying my head in the sand, pretending like it's not happening.
Right.
I'll have to pay attention to it eventually, but not right now.
It's a little early, isn't it?
It is extremely early, but the Caribbean is currently as hot as it normally is in August. Key West has already broke the heat index record. Nice. So we have a lot of things stacking up to really fuel a very active hurricane season. And as everybody's heard, a lot of predictions have a very active season ahead. And the water temperature definitely isn't going to help things. It's going to pour some fuel on the fire. So it'll be very interesting to see how it shakes out. But a lot of these early season storms kind of develop in the Gulf of Mexico. One of these big fronts will roll across the Gulf and kind of stall, and then the tail kind of breaks off, and it sits down there in the Bay of Campeche, right there just south of Texas, basically east of Mexico, and it will build up there and kind of shoot across the Gulf pretty quickly. And that's normally what kind of puts everybody on alert and wakes us up for our early season storms. And we have so much activity off of Texas right now. Everybody's seen it in the news, all these big tornadoes. Right now, the last 3 days, there's been a bunch of convection over the state of Texas. So really, it's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
When is that first tropical system going to put us on alert? There's a lot of them going on, and any one of them could pop off for sure. So it's something you want to keep your eye on for sure and get ready.
No doubt.
But as far as the weather goes locally, for our local outlook, offshore season has kicked off with red snapper season opening up today. So the weather is not great.
Windy.
Yes. We had a little bit of a weak cold front. You wouldn't have noticed the cold front if you were up early. Like Mike and I this morning, you walked out of your house, you might have been like, oh, it was kind of chilly out here.
A little bit, yeah.
And that was the cold front. That was it. That's all we're getting.
Nice.
It's going to go right back in the 90s.
A breath of chill.
Yeah, so it wasn't much of a cold front, but it did happen. And now we've got a high pressure settling in behind that frontal boundary. And that high pressure is going to create a little bit of a easterly wind flow over basically the next 5 days, 5-6 days. But it's only really in the morning and overnight. So the wind will pick up late in the day, almost after sunset, and it will kind of blow through early to mid-morning and then kind of weaken throughout the day. And then that sea breeze is going to start picking up every day. So the sea breeze starts picking up. We'll start getting into that rainy season here pretty quickly. So which will be kind of nice because everybody kind of dislikes those afternoon thunderstorms, but the one good thing that they do is they do kind of cool down our area and our region.
Yeah,
and,
it drops the water temp a little bit too,
exactly.
for sure. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Of course, I'm going to take credit for all of this because I have tarpon trips every late afternoon every night this week, so it's probably my fault.
Yeah, or it's red snapper season and it's my fault.
Right.
Yeah, red snapper season kicked off today, and every single one of our offshore trips got canceled.
The wind shall be blowing.
Yes.
Your weather update is brought to you by our good friends at Reese Windows and Doors. You know, they're Florida's leading window and door company with over 50 years in the business. They offer free installation of most windows and doors installed in just 6 weeks. They only use in-house installers, no freelance contractors, and their work comes with a lifetime warranty, which means you never pay for warranty, and when you sell your house, the warranty transfers to the new owners, which adds value to your home. Visit reesewindows.com for more information. Good stuff. So the trip to New York. Have you been to New York City?
Twice, but one time I kind of actually walked around. It's pretty wild. It's a wild place.
It's a crazy place, bro.
Yeah, definitely would not want to live there.
I can't tell you the amount of times at 1:15, 2:30, 3:45, 4 a.m., 4:15, 4:30, that I wanted to run downstairs in front of the hotel and grab whoever was beating on their horn by the throat and just rip their horn out and shove it up their backside. Seriously, dude. I've never in my entire life, horns going off all night long, sirens going off all night long. I'm like, what is going on in this place, man?
Yeah, city that never sleeps.
It's crazy.
Sure.
So I was doing some homework yesterday because I drove across the Gandy, and I'm looking at the St. Pete skyline.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that's really pathetic compared to what I just saw, right?
Yeah.
So the greater Tampa metropolitan area, you know how many people live here?
I know in Pinellas County it's like 1.2 million.
So in the greater Tampa Bay metropolitan area, there's just under 3 million people.
Wow.
Okay? That's what I thought. I thought, wow, that's a lot of people.
No.
18.8 million people live in the greater New York City area.
It's wild.
That's insanity, dude.
Yeah, they stack on top of each other.
Oh, my God. It's the craziest place I've ever been. I'm like, oh, man.
What's crazy, too, is the pricing on everything, right? And those apartments. I mean, you get like this studio is pretty big. It's pretty nice. I'm not. I mean, the boss is here, so I mean, it's not that big of a room that we're in. But I mean, these studio apartments in New York are like half the size of this room, and they're charging like $4,000.
It's crazy
a month.
It's crazy, dude.
It's nuts.
It's a bizarre place. Now, I will tell you this: that if you are a fan or you do go to New York City, I would definitely recommend trying to book a trip and do the striper fishing there.
Mm-hmm.
The striper fishing was very cool. They got big bluefish, which we caught some really big bluefish, which are crazy looking, and weak fish. They get big weak fish there. So it was a really neat trip. I got about a 36-pounder, caught some smaller ones on topwater plugs on the striper side. It was it's a unique place to fish. When the pogie schools are there, the bunka, as they call them.
I have no idea what you're even talking about at this point. You've lost me. Between weak fish and pogies, I'm like, what?
It was pretty incredible. You never seen a weak fish?
Isn't that like I'm thinking like the northern kingfish.
No, it looks like a giant trout. I mean, if you've ever caught one in Jacksonville, we've caught some in Jacksonville at the jetty. I mean, when they come up, they're like, I mean, I was sitting next to Hageman and Goodwin. We were both teams, Jeff Totten and I, and them two were fishing the jetty in the tournament. And Jamie caught a giant, what I thought was a trout. I'm like, oh my God, the size of that trout's ridiculous. And Jamie yelled over right away, no, it's a weak fish. Big, beautiful. I mean, it looks like a giant speckled trout. Really, they get massive.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, cool fishery. I had a good time.
Speaking of bluefish, the Mad Snooker caught one the other night on our charter and posted it on Facebook. And I was like, what is that? It's the biggest bluefish I've ever seen.
Those are like the bluefish we were catching in New York.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He caught
Down
one
here in this warm water, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They got one like that off the Skyway. The Skyway Misfits posted one off the Skyway that was about that same size. But I'm used to seeing bluefish like the average mackerel.
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah, a pound and a half,
14,
2 pounds. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good size, bluefish, and they're fun to catch. They get on the flats, you're trout fishing, drifting along, and all of a sudden, you got something with a little more tenacity than a decent trout. You're like, wow, this is crazy. The first fish we caught on my trip to New York there, the wind was howling the first day, 25 to 30. We had kind of crazy winds. But we found a bunch of birds working some blowing up fish and pitched some pogies in there and ended up with a big bluefish. And they fight good.
Yeah.
It's a cool fish.
It's so interesting. When I think New York, I don't think fishing.
No, I agree with you totally. When this whole thing kind of fell in my lap, I was like, really? New York City?
Yeah.
I mean, literally, we were, the original sale was, catch a striper with the Statue of Liberty over your shoulder, which I thought, man, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
And the bite just wasn't good right there at the statue, so we had to move around a little bit. They got a lot of islands there in New York Harbor that were used for different
Manhattan.
things. Well, that island too. But a lot of rock islands there, and you fish up tight on those rock islands with top waters. And then we were out on the beach in the Pogie schools out in front of Coney Island and all that. It was a neat experience. I found myself, there's a lot to look at.
What's interesting to me that I just started thinking about is how we talk about in Tampa Bay, how there's so many people, there's so many guides, there's so much pressure on these fish. And there's only about, like you said, around 3 million people in greater
Right.
Tampa Bay. It's surprising that New York still has a fishery, right?
I agree.
18 points.
I agree. I think, and I don't
There's
know.
probably just not enough working waterfront to support charter boats.
I agree. The other thing is it's not a year-round business.
Yeah.
You can't do it year-round up there. The weather just won't allow it.
Weather
So,
sucks.
yeah, there's that. That and, everything's really expensive. So that's another whole hiccup. The Frank Crisatelli, the guy that we were with, he got $1,500 a day for striper trips. They do a lot of stuff on fly there. They throw these giant bunker flies. I mean, they're huge. They're like 6, 7, 8 inches long. We watched a guy catch a fish on fly in a boat right next to us. And again, I'm like, what is he throwing? It looks like a sock, I mean, it's huge. But yeah, really an interesting fishery. I think it's going to be a cool episode just because we just got to do stuff, that you just don't normally get to do, and fish for fish you don't normally get to fish for.
Yeah.
The skyline, obviously just a, unique place visually.
For sure.
So, yeah. So, anyway, tarpon season, red snapper season, lots of stuff to talk about. Again, phone lines are open here, 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. Let's talk some fishing on the other side. We'll be back, 970 WFLA.
The biggest stars in the universe
are on a collision.
Go.
What are you talking about? Oh, someone commented that?
Right?
We're spread out.
It was crazy, dude. Absolutely crazy. And then we went to the observatory there at the Freedom Tower. And everywhere you go, all the way around that observatory, the whole circular walk, you see nothing but skyline. And, it's unbelievable. Like, it's so massive. It's. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did the footprints. We did Central Park. We did Rockefeller Center. We did all that,
Tourist stuff.
Yeah, all that, the Brooklyn Bridge. We did all the tourist stuff because I don't know that I'll ever go back. The subway, although really ingenious, because without it you'd really be screwed. It'd be LA because you wouldn't be able to travel. You can stick that in your ear. I never need to do that again for my entire life. 5 stairwells down to get. It was terrible, but I understand why they do it. But, dude, when the AC's out on one of them bitches,
Yeah.
and it's packed, and some people don't know how to bathe, You're like, this, I don't ever need to do this again. Like 15,000, 20,000 steps a day.
Wow.
You walk. I mean, you just walk and walk. Times Square. It was crazy, bro. Pizza. Really good pizza. Really. Yeah, right. Yeah, it was
That's
funny.
what's crazy is they level it. Like there's multiple levels
Oh, yeah.
subterranean in New York. It's crazy.
Well, my wife she was really impressed because my sister-in-law had been there several times and she was going to be this great subway guide for us. And she's walking around scratching her head looking at shit. And after the first day and a half, I kind of had it figured out based on not so much the signs, but I think it's just being a fishing guide. I'm like, nope, we went this way. There's that, there's the Warby Parker right there. That was on our left. We're headed this way. We're going to go up here and take a right and blah, blah, blah. My wife is like, look at you. I'm like, I'm a fishing guide. I can get us from point A to point B. Once I go there a couple of times, like, I got this.
My sense of direction is strong.
Exactly. Yeah, because the signs, I didn't think the signs were great. Oh, try Saturday night, Memorial Day weekend. It was crazy. We went that's the first place we went when we got there on Thursday, and it wasn't too bad. Thursday, late afternoon, there was a lot of people there, but it wasn't crazy. Saturday night, we got reservations at Virgil's Barbecue right there in Times Square. We went in at like 6 o'clock. We came out at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and the place was absolutely packed. I just looked at my wife and said, yep, out. We are out. We are gone. I can't.
Too many people.
I can't do it. Yeah. And a-holes at that.
Messing with us? Now it's time for some answers.
Take us to the edge of the rabbit hole. We'll do the rest.
Listen to Stuff They Don't Want You to Know on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff They Don't Want You to Know and start listening.
This is the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Dylan mentioned it. We are headed towards the rainy season, so hopefully you are squared away when it comes to everything about your roof, whether you need a shingle, metal, tile, or a flat roof. Our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems are your safest choice for repairs or replacements. Don't wait. Now is the time to get that roof fixed up before that rain-soaking season hits us square in the mouth here in Florida. Give our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems a call today at 1-888-397-ROOF to get a free estimate, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Let's go to the phone lines here. We got a short segment before the bottom of the hour. Let's check in with the before-mentioned Florida Keys, where it's been pretty warm. Let's check in with Capt. Mike Perry. Michael, how are you?
Good morning from a very, very hot, humid, and the heat index has been listed as extreme every day for the last 10 or 11 days.
Nice.
I mean, it's off the charts hot right now. So, when you mentioned hurricane season at the open of the show, I'm like, oh, here we go again.
Yep.
Do the shuffle.
We're along for the ride, baby.
That's right. Do the shuffle between Big Pine Key and up there in Pasco County, Florida. So, but anyway, it's hot, and we're doing all the stuff that we can, helping out our charters. Staying hydrated, staying cool. But the mahi are here. We're catching whatever you want, how many ever you want to catch, up to your limit. We'll put you on them. It's been crazy, and bigger fish too. I mean, the average. You could get into the chicken dolphin, but the average dolphin right now we're getting is 8 to 10 pounds. So
whoa,
very good fish on, and just match your tackle to it, and an 8 to 10 pounder will feel like a 20 pounder.
That's great.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was
That's awesome.
kind of jealous of you, Mike, because you're fishing in New York, and that was pretty cool. I watched your little intros you do before you go out each day, and to have that skyline and all that history while you're fishing, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. That was my draw to go do it. Just again, I'd never been to New York City, so just to roll by every morning by the Statue of Liberty and just kind of take in what that meant. The guy we fished with, Captain Frank Crisatelli, was on the water the morning of 9/11, and the marina is directly, and you could see it in my video, when you come out of that marina into the river there, headed for New York Harbor, you're looking at Freedom Tower, which is right where the World Trade Center stood. And when he pulled out that morning, there was smoke coming from the one tower that had already been hit by the plane. And a sheriff's deputy ran at him on the water after the first plane hit, ran at him on the water. He was sitting there going, "What's going on? What's going on?" And the guy was like, "Under no circumstances does anyone come out of that marina. Nobody comes out of that marina. You stay right here and you keep everyone in that marina." So he watched the second plane come into the other tower. He watched it.
Oh my heavens.
Yeah, dude, it was an interesting story. And I mean, it was he stayed there for like 5 hours, and finally he's like, another sheriff's deputy came by. I waved him over and I'm like, "Listen, dude," they were like, "Don't leave." He's like, "I'm leaving." They lost phone service. All that stuff was gone. And his family didn't know where he was. He's like, "Dude," and at that point, you don't even know what's going on other than what you're hearing, tidbits and pieces of. So it was an interesting trip, really. Like you said, a lot of history, a lot of things to take in as there's just so much going on in that city.
Dude, as you told that story.
Great story of a bad day.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, great story of a bad day for sure. Just interesting from a true New Yorker like that, a born and raised guy from that area. It was really interesting. Yeah.
No.
So, anyway, good stuff.
Well,
good call, Michael.
Guys, listen, great to hear you. Good. You had a great time, and the fishing's good in the Florida Keys. If you want to fish inshore, just like up there, the tarpon are everywhere. Book you a trip on a tarpon guide, and go get you a couple of the Silver King.
No doubt, brother. We appreciate you. Good call, Michael.
No problem, guys. Have a great day. God bless, and tight line.
Thanks,
hey, buddy.
Good stuff right there. We got Alan in St. Pete up here on the other side. Hopefully we'll hear from you as well. 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. We'll be back. Dude, he said it.
Every hair in my body stood up when you told that story. That's crazy.
And I'm telling you, when you see the video, if you look at the one video I posted where I turned around and look at the skyline, dude, it's right there. Like you come out of his slip, turn to the right, and Freedom Tower is right there. He's like, "Yeah, dude." It's like I pulled out and I'm like, "What the hell?" He said, "I called my wife," and she said, "Yeah, they said a small plane hit the World Trade Center." He's like, "Yeah, I see the smoke. I see the smoke. It's crazy." Yeah. And then he said this other plane came in, and you're like, "That one's kind of low." He said, and all of a sudden it turned, and the sun hit its wings and just flew right into the building. Oh, I mean, can you imagine the chill?
No.
I can't either. You're like, what the fuck is happening?
I was in 6th grade, and I'll never forget, the teacher rolled the TV into the classroom, and, we don't watch TV.
Yeah.
And they rolled the TV in and started playing the news. And then all of a sudden, kids started getting pulled out of class. Parents started showing up, and that was wild.
Crazy day, bro. Crazy day. Everybody remembers where they were.
Yeah. If I was older, my life trajectory would have changed for sure, because I wanted to join the military. It's crazy.
A lot of people did.
Yeah. Nuts.
Yeah. That's the bad part about all this immigration stuff and the libtards and It is. I mean, dude, I got friends of mine who are on that side of it, which is fine. But they're like, my parents were immigrants, dude. We wouldn't be here. Well, guess what? When your parents were coming, people weren't trying to blow up fucking buildings.
Yeah.
The shit has changed. The world changed after 9/11. And guess what? It changed for you too, pal. That's the way it works. It changed for everybody. There's areas we can't fish anymore because of 9/11. You know what I mean? Everyone's world was impacted by that day. I understand what you're saying. We used to have a nice open border and people could come here, and that's how America became America and made America great. I get it. Now, you got jackwagons with towels wrapped around their head that want to blow up fucking buildings.
Yeah.
It's not the same world. It's just not.
We've been at war for what, like 25 years?
I mean, dude, you can't look at it the same. You know, well, my parents came here as immigrants. I get it. I do. I understand. We're not trying to keep the good people out. We're trying to keep the bad people out. It's just the way it works.
You know what's crazy too is like behind 9/11, how patriotism and like country unity was so strong. And like it didn't matter if you were red or blue or how you voted, people got along. We were all Americans. It didn't matter if you're black, white, yellow. We were all Americans.
We had a chance.
And
there was a president, a recent president, who had a chance to really unify the country, and he chose not to do it.
Yeah.
He could have really bonded the country, and it wasn't. His plan was to get rich.
Yeah.
And he did that. He's rich as piss, but he did not bond the country whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that's just too bad, because he really could have pulled it together. And that would have been one of the greatest legacies to leave ever. But he got greedy. All he cared about was the money. It's just too bad.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Because you're right. It's definitely.
Everybody had an American flag in the front of the house, on their car.
Yep. Everybody was on the same page, too. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not that way.
Nuts.
And talk about seeing a diverse world in New York City.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, there's, you know.
I went to Disney World Wednesday with the family. That's the same thing.
Wow.
I mean, not that many people, obviously, but you definitely have such a soup.
Diverse, yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. Good for you. You're a gamer, bro.
Yeah.
You're a gamer. Yeah.
It was tough.
You could put a gun in my mouth with your finger on the trigger, and I'd be like, I don't know. Can I have a minute? Can I phone a friend? Seriously.
Yeah, my wife, Tuesday night, she was like, "You want to go to Disney tomorrow?" I was like, "No." Is that a question? Absolutely not.
I don't know.
But it was fun. I love my kids.
Oh yeah, that's just
yeah.
I could almost.
It's so weird though, man. We were in line for we were meeting Pluto, right? And my kids are all excited. And there's like a long line, and we're standing in line, and I'm watching like a group of 5 45-year-old dudes, each taking selfies with Pluto. It's like, dude, my 4-year-old wants to meet a freaking Disney character, bro. Get out of the way. So annoying.
Welcome back. Oh, listen,
America.
If you're missing what's going on at the break here, it's just, I'm sorry. You're missing some
It's nothing good.
Yeah, you're missing some good stuff. Want to put a shout out to our good friends over at Ace Heating and Cooling. You know, for over 20 years now, they've been a trusted name in the heating and air conditioning business in Hillsborough County. Chris Myers and his guys service all brands, do residential and commercial repairs, maintenance, and full replacements. They send out technicians, not salespeople, because they're trying to build long-lasting customer relationships that hold up over time. Give them a call today at 813-657-8818 or look them up online at brandonac.net. We love Chris Myers and the good people at Ace Heating and Cooling. Let's go to the phone lines here. If you want to join us, you can give us a call, 1-800-969-9352.
Our safe boating tip of the week is going to be juicy.
Oh, boy. Okay,
it's
great.
going to be real juicy.
Great.
Don't go anywhere.
Let's check in with our good friend Alan in St. Pete. Alan, how are you this morning, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing well. I tell you, the people that aren't watching the Facebook feed miss the real show. That's where the fun is. I say, someone says you want to go to Disney World. I say I'll take a colonoscopy and a root canal in the same morning.
I'd much rather. Yes.
Yeah.
Much rather. No doubt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Captain Chris was there from Park Place
I've been
Garage.
to New York City twice in my life. Both times while I was in the military and in the Navy for Fleet Week.
Yeah, it was Fleet Week. It was Fleet Week while we were there.
I've been around the world twice on carriers. The best port in the world is Fleet Week in New York City.
Yeah, I get it.
You will never be treated better. They're the most patriotic people you ever met in your life.
That's
They
great.
will give you the world if you're in a uniform.
Nice.
Just a great time. I had a great time there. But those were the old days.
Yeah.
Just got back from the Caribbean. The week-long Caribbean cruise that I got coerced into went well.
Oh, you sound so painful.
Yeah.
Spraying my liver.
I was going to say,
15 drink a day drink package as a challenge, which I don't normally drink that heavily, but I'm paying for it now. But had a chance to get out this week, even it was really hot. I didn't do very well myself. Catfish are in summer form.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Rare summer form, no doubt.
Caught a lot of those. Well, I got a report from some intel that said there was some big uglies underneath the Bayside Bridge, and I didn't find them, but I found all the catfish. But one thing I did see, which was really cool, is saw a couple kids, young guys, in a skiff, fly fishing that flat right by the Bayside Bridge. And a hook and land about a 65, 70-pound tarpon.
Nice.
Really cool to watch. Those the youth movement is alive and well in Tampa Bay, and my kid has been going out every night with his buddy, and they've been sneaking onto a golf course. I got to figure out where they're going, but they're catching landlocked snook and tarpon in this golf course. I would probably get arrested, but they're getting away with it. But they're sending me pictures, and I'm like,
it's good to be a minor.
There's kids that still sneak on golf courses. I remember doing that as I was a kid.
You guys think I started the Real Animals Junior Pro staff just because I'm a nice guy?
Send me where you caught that fish, kid.
Right. I got them locked in, dude. I put GPSs in their tackle bags as we send their gift boxes out. Speaking of which, the Real Animals Junior Pro staff summer tournament kicks off today, so
he's got
good luck to them.
GPS sewn in the hats that he sent out.
Exactly. Little chips. I need to know where you little buggers are catching all your
RFID tags.
They won't share their information, so they're learning young.
For
Smart.
sure. Yeah.
That's awesome.
They're all starting their own YouTube channel.
It's great. Well, we saw it last night at John's Pass. We had Final Friday, and we hired this kid. He's 15 years old, and he helps us out on Friday afternoons at the Marina. And he has just been hanging out at the pass for like 5 years, and just begging for a job, and we gave him one.
Nice.
And now him and his buddies hang out there all the time, so he'll work, and as soon as he gets off work, all his buddies show up. So like 15 kids showed up, and they were all really young, and they have like 100 fishing rods between the 15 kids. Every one of them has 2 armfuls of fishing rods. Like, we're going fishing. I was like, yeah.
I see that, yeah.
Where else are you going to go? It was funny. They set up, and they catch really big sharks off the beach there.
Do they?
It's really impressive. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very cool. All right, Alan. Well, good call, buddy. We appreciate you. Sounds like you're living right.
I'm trying, man.
Recovering from the cruise. Good luck. Drink lots of water.
Yeah.
Hydrate, my friend. Hydrate.
Have a good day.
All right, partner. You too. Hydrate.
Yeah, it's big. I mean, we've already had 2 people fall out from heat already.
I'm telling you, dude. I got tarpon trips all this week where you're starting your trip at 1:00 in the afternoon. Do that, yeah.
That should be fun.
Bait. Yeah, it'll be fun, but it's gonna be warm.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
Hydrate.
Yeah.
It's the big thing. It starts the day before.
At least the day before. Let's check in with a good friend out in Lake Alfred. Let's go to Ron at Ron's Tackle Box, get a freshwater report. He is our freshwater guru. Ronnie, how are you this morning?
Doing great this morning.
What's up, buddy? Talk to us.
And it's been nice and warm up here in Polk County, so
I believe it.
You're not alone.
Yeah, I believe that.
But I'll tell you, I'm amazed at the amount of bass that they're catching in this heat. I don't understand why, but it's been a great week on bass fishing.
Nice. Even without the rain.
Real big, 5-6 pound fish, which is a real nice fish.
Yeah, for sure.
But a lot of them.
That's
good.
good.
It's just the people that are actually going are doing well. Panfish is always good. Bluegill, shell crackers, a lot of different varieties of panfish. There's about 12 different varieties. So that's real good. That's all good all summer long. No problem with that.
Is it like freshwater, or is it like saltwater fishing on the flats where like early morning, late afternoon is going to be better, where those fish are at least a little cooler?
That's always better, yes. The panfish, the heat of the day doesn't matter, but your bass fishing morning, evening is always the best.
Yeah,
but like
sense.
in the cooler months with bass, it's kind of like saltwater in the fact that they get a little bit more active when it warms up in the afternoon. They kind of follow that same pattern.
Pretty much, yeah. You're right. About the same pattern.
Heats it up just a couple of degrees. That water temp changes just a degree or two, can make a big difference.
Yeah.
And if we get a rain, which we haven't had much, that really turns them on.
Yeah.
Get that oxygen in the water. It really
stirs it up, brings some bugs in.
It's so interesting how some of the patterns transfer and then others don't.
Yeah. No, it really is. It's crazy the way it can be super similar and then super different.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a neat science in both sides of it. When you watch those guys that really know what they're doing, the top 100, 200 guys in the country on the bass circuit, and watch them guys, we were talking about this. I was talking about this when I was in New York fishing. Their ability to fish in Missouri in February for week 1 of their season and then have their next stop somewhere in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and go from, wearing icicle gloves on their hands to wearing shorts the following week.
Big difference.
And and the ability to change gears and how you're catching those fish from week to week like that, just it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
They do their homework and put in their time, because the average guy would just zero out.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be me. That would be me.
Yeah.
Zero.
And science is such a strong word, right? There's a science to it, like knowing the patterns and all that kind of stuff, but there's ultimately a lot of luck to it as well.
Always.
It's so interesting, and that's what's cool about your sport. You just never know what you're going to catch. And I think that's, in my opinion, why I like saltwater better, because there's just such a bigger variety if you don't know what you're going to catch.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
But in freshwater, it's like, how big is that bass going to be?
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good stuff, Ronnie. Tell everybody how they can find you out there, bud.
I'm at 380 South Lakeshore Way, which is 1792 in Lake Alfred. Phone number 863-956-4990.
Nobody does it better than you, the freshwater guru. Ronnie, we appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, guys.
All right, partner. Good stuff there. Always a great call from our good friend over there. Let's check in with, we got time here. We got plenty of time. Let's check in with Nick with Return 'em Right. Nick, how are you this morning, buddy?
Doing well. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Loud and clear.
Mike, Dylan, what's going on?
Different day, same stuff, buddy.
Yeah.
We're not all world travelers. He just got back from Africa.
What?
Yeah, Africa.
Did you fish? Did you fish there?
I fished in Mozambique, not in Africa.
Okay.
I got humbled by about 70-pound GT on a big pencil popper. Just got absolutely destroyed.
Wow. How big was the pencil popper?
I think it was a 9-inch Yozuri, like black and purple one.
Whoa.
But yeah, I just the power of those things, full on, like the Nat Geo, them eating birds, like skied out of the water, flew out full body, and just didn't even slow it down. Like I mean, I was underpowered. I had like a Gosa 10K 50-pound braid locked down and just didn't even stand a chance.
Smoked.
Wow.
Isn't that awesome?
I want to do that.
Yeah,
That
I know,
sounds
right?
cool. Yeah.
I'll show you the reel he made from his trip. It's amazing.
I was all impressed. I just got back from New York City and we were striper fishing, and the captain pulls out, like, I sent a box with some Strike King and some Mirror Lure topwater plugs.
Yeah.
Because he's like, hey, send me some topwaters. I'm like, okay. Dude, he pulled out a topwater, this white Zero Spook looking thing that was like 9, 10, 11 inches long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking to myself, dude, what is going to eat that? I've got 30-pound braid on, and we're going to wrestle with whatever's going to eat
We're gonna
that
throw
thing.
a swan lure.
It was crazy, dude. I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
50-pound braid, and you got smoked. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Not even close either. Like, I think I would have needed like 80-pound braid and about twice the drag I had to stop it.
Oh,
That's crazy.
that's so cool,
But-
though.
We also got out in the boat. We caught some cuda, they call them, like king mackerel, but theirs are bigger than ours, like about twice the size of ours. So we caught some nice ones on jigs. I caught a longfin trevally on a jig, which I've never seen. It looks like a mixture of a blue runner and an African pompano. I'll send Dylan some pictures here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Got a couple small yellowfin tuna, so it was
Nice.
fun to fish up there and see some new species. But yeah, it was awesome. And I wanted to call in today and remind everyone with red snapper season, of course, my usual reminder that, you know, if you haven't gotten a descending device or venting tool, check out our training and, you know, be prepared. I know it's a windy weekend, so a lot of people might not be heading out, but that gives you a little extra time to prep for not only catching fish, but releasing fish too.
No, that's a very
Amen to
good
that.
point. Yeah, I got to figure out how to get you. I was preaching you when I was in Costa Rica. I was preaching you to Greg Muffson, the owner of the lodge, and the captains there, trying to get them to get with you because they work really hard on that Cubera snapper fishery over there. And sometimes we had to work a little bit. And they have these like handmade descending devices that the captains are using. And I'm like,
really?
Dude, return them right. We got this covered for you. All you got to do is make a phone call. I'm sure they'll send you some, and you'll be in good shape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was preaching you up over there.
We've had a couple of requests from some folks in Costa Rica, and yeah, it's usually those big cuberas they're concerned with the most. But,
Big breeders.
there's interest from all over. We actually had two shops from Australia, two from Australia and two from South Africa reach out trying to get us to promote stuff. So, you know, we're funded from oil spill money from the Gulf of Mexico, which kind of limits us a little bit. But, I mean, there's no reason we can't be spreading the education, showing people where they can buy them to, and just kind of getting it out there all over the place. I think that's the only way you kind of make a practice universally adopted, is get everyone on board with it from all over different regions.
No doubt. Well, I'd like to thank you. As you know, I kind of thought my 36-pound striper was going to kind of be the crazy exotic fish of the day. Way to wreck that for me, Nick. I appreciate that. That was well done. We're 48 minutes in, dude. I had 48 minutes of a 2-hour show. That was it. And then you stole it.
I like how he made it all the way to Mozambique to go fishing, and he still was wearing his return 'em right gear. He's all branded out. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Solid, buddy.
Did you get those pictures? I got the shirt and the hat. I'm rocking it still.
I see it. I see it.
Represent, dog. Represent.
That's awesome, man.
Good job. We appreciate you, Nick. Great call, brother.
ReturnEmRight.org. That's it. Appreciate it, Nick.
Good stuff there for sure.
Yeah, definitely check it out. You can get free gear. It's over $100 in free gear. Might as well get you a piece of that BP oil spill money at returnemright.org.
I got the 32 ST now. I need to get a hold of them to get stuff for the boat.
Yeah,
so
just go on the website. It's real simple.
We got a good friend, Van Hubbard, from down in beautiful Boca Grande, up on the other side. Phone lines are open, 1-800-969-9352. Again, light them up. We'll be back. Hey anglers, the best fishing charters in the Bay Area out of Hubbard's Marina on the boardwalk at Johns Pass. Hubbard's Marina has been catching fish.
He's good at what he does.
What are you trying to hire him to do?
Social media marketing.
Oh, really?
That kind of thing. Dude, check out this video that he put together from his trip. Yeah, that's crazy. And just when you think, oh, it's got to be over, it just keeps going. All the animals he saw, it's crazy.
Beth said, did Dylan get his picture with Pluto?
No, I did not. Yeah, I didn't take my picture with Pluto. Yeah, it was crazy, man. Like, there's so many. Like, we were in line for this a restaurant for lunch, and it was like one of the Disney restaurants that like you have to have a reservation for, and it like so we made the reservation in advance so we could go there. It was Andy's room, so like they make an announcement, Andy's coming, you have to pretend like you're a toy, be quiet and freeze. And dude, we're waiting in line for this restaurant, and there is grown ass couples in line, like for a party of 2, no kids. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? Get out of our way. Like, I've got a 4-year-old who wants to see Andy. Come on. It's crazy, man. I'm like, why are you going on a date to Disney World without kids?
Oh, she sent 2. That's hysterical. I said, LOL. He said no, but I don't believe him. Dude, so
what?
Brian Charles Pugh that comments all the time. He makes some bad lures, man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's some sweet lures.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. He brought me some the last...
This Ford Real Animals Radio Show, presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Putting a shout out to our good friends over at Relentless Perpetual Edge Knives. You know, they're the world's first self-sharpening knife. That's right, it sharpens as it cuts. Ultra hard carbide, never rust titanium blade, true grit glass, reinforced ABS handle on a knife that is perfectly balanced and comes in 5 great models to choose from. Take the work out of filleting a pile of fish and get your Relentless Knives today. Go to relentlessknivesusa.com. Find out for yourself why this is the knife all the pros are talking about. Got a short segment before the top of the hour. Let's check in with our good friend, our amigo down there in beautiful Boca Grande, Captain Van Hubbard. Van, how are you, buddy?
I'm just fabulous, guys. How about yourselves?
Another day in paradise,
we're
my
good,
friend.
Man. We're trying to be you.
Well, none of us are doing bad at being us. And speaking of all of us, I want to point out something here. You know, y'all just had Nick on there, and the 3 of us are really good at promoting careful handling of fish and preventing dead discards. You can even throw in our old buddy Scotty Moore because he does as good as that job of that as anybody. But that guest you just had, Nick, is actually saving more fish than all of us combined, and I think that's a pretty damn big deal.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. What he's doing is fantastic.
Amen.
Special for sure.
Well, the water's too clear, you know, and how can you complain about beautiful, clear water? You can see the bottom everywhere.
We'll find a way.
Tarpon all over the place, but getting them to bite is a little more challenging. But it's just beautiful out there. It's a great time to be out there. It's a little hot, so be careful and hydrate, like y'all keep saying. But the tarpon fishery is just alive. Plenty of fish. There's some hot bites sometimes, but it's mighty beautiful water. It's easy to see the fish, and they are gorgeous. But we're doing some tarpon looking sometimes instead of tarpon catching.
Yeah, tarpon being tarpon, I call it.
Tarpon looking.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Tarpon being tarpon. It's what they do. Drive you nuts. I heard the bite. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the bite.
Dylan was laughing about tarpon looking, but tarpon looking is a pretty damn exciting thing.
Oh, 100%. We do it all the time at the dock. It's fun to watch.
I mean, it is really special to watch them.
100%. Big, beautiful animals.
My highlight of Key West is going down to the docks when they're cleaning fish and watching those tarpon eat.
Yeah, I get it.
We have that a little bit in the past. You can't count on it like you can in the Keys, but when we dump those carcasses, because we don't throw the carcasses in as we fillet, we put them in a barrel to keep them away from the birds. But once the birds leave, we'll dump that barrel, and a lot of times either a dolphin will show up or a tarpon will show up. And we've even had a few Goliath groupers show up occasionally too.
Big scavengers.
So it's always interesting to see what rolls through once you dump that barrel.
Yeah, no doubt.
I bet you see some big snook in there too.
I haven't lately. It's been so warm. In the mornings, like if we dump it behind a 39-hour, we dump the barrel at like 6:30 in the morning, then sometimes you'll have some big snook roll through. But most of the time the snook are on the bottom, you don't really get to see them. Whereas the tarpon and the Goliath, the dolphins, they're hard to miss. They're a lot higher in the water column.
You're dumping it off the end of the dock then?
Yeah, deeper parts. Trying to get.
Okay.
You're trying to hide that, right?
Gotcha.
But yeah,
well, crab's got to eat too.
Yes, sir,
for sure.
Yeah,
no doubt about
it. It's all part of the food chain.
Absolutely.
And it's so interesting because you can't. That story's really long, but you can't throw them in the garbage. You can't grind them up. You can't take them offshore. It's like you're darned if you do and darned if you don't with those carcasses.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah.
But they go back into the system. You're not overdoing it. They're getting consumed. They're not floating up dead, stinking anywhere.
Right.
It's all part of it.
Yeah. It's part of the job. Great call, Van Hubbard. We appreciate you, brother. Always good to hear your voice.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, partner. Have a great week. So,
always good chatting with the man.
Yeah. Speaking of seeing cool stuff, we got to see in New York. I saw my first seal.
Oh, wow.
Which was cool. And my first finback whales. Like we were on the beach out there in front of Coney Island fishing the last morning. And I was like, did something just shoot water into the air over there? Like I looked and I'm like, and they were like,
yeah, it was a whale, idiot.
No. Actually, initially we saw there was some dolphin that direction too. And he was like, oh, it's a dolphin. And I thought, dude.
That's a big dolphin.
That was a big blow for a dolphin. I'm like, really? That's crazy. And then all of a sudden I'm like, that's not a dolphin. And they were like, oh no, that's finback whales. I'm like, what? I mean,
that's awesome.
It was crazy, dude. I'm like, wow, I'd never seen that before.
Yeah. We see them in the Gulf occasionally. It wasn't too long ago. We had 2 crews by the party boat. But my cousin was just up in Alaska fishing, and he had a pod of orcas cruise by the charter boat they were fishing from.
Oh, man.
I was like, I got to do that.
That's just part of it, too. Whether you're inshore or offshore, it's just getting to see those unique moments.
Yeah.
Stuff I'll never forget. The seal on the island we were fishing, Captain was like, well, we got to go. There's a seal right there. There won't be any fish right here. I'm like, oh, that makes sense, but it's kind of cool. Cute little fella.
That's like the people who are like, oh, look, it's a dolphin. No, that's not good. Let's go.
Yeah, we gotta move.
Stupid
now.
dolphin.
Yeah. Phone lines are wide open, 1-800-969-9352. Let's talk fishing. Light them up. We'll be back.
The preceding program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
News Radio 970.
There you go, Ronnie Millsap. Decision 2024. What?
You must have not heard that.
Who?
They're talking about raising the pride flag at the St. Pete City Hall.
Nice.
Did you see the thing where DeSantis said they won't light up the Skyway with any other colors besides red, white, and blue over the summer? And, people were upset about it. It's like, oh, dear. We can't be Americans.
No.
We gotta show every single one of our colors. It's crazy.
It's asinine, bro.
Let's stick to red, white, and blue, guys.
They just can't do it, dude. They can't get out of their own way. They can't just shut up and go away.
exclude people, but we
No,
can
I
always
don't.
just
There's no
focus on
reason to
being
exclude.
Americans.
Can't you just? I mean, no one cares. I don't care what you do at home. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Doesn't bother me one bit. Doesn't mean I like you. Doesn't mean I don't like you. I don't even think about it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just like 99% of the population, nobody cares. You get your undies in a bundle over 1% of the idiots that make it an issue. Who cares? You're going to have a percentage of a-holes at all times. It's never going to change.
Yeah.
Stop letting it eat up part of your brain. It's a waste of time.
We got new 450s on the Flying Hub 2 yesterday.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Pretty.
Nice.
Pretty.
We blew a 300 on day 2. Headed out in the morning.
Had a new one hung for the next day.
No, second. That was second morning. We had to get fish. We only got 3 the first day. So luckily, Captain Frank was just like, well, that sucks. We'll have to do it on 2 motors. Okay.
Oh, he had a triple engine?
Yeah, 35. It's on the 35 with trips.
Wow.
Trip 300s. Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. No bay boats up there, huh?
I saw some bay boats. I mean, bay boat size-wise. But
does he fish offshore? He must with that kind of
and
setup.
the harbor's big. So, I mean, it was, I'm telling you, the first day we fished, it was bad. It was windy as shit. It's crazy. It was blowing every bit of 25 with gust of 30. It was crazy.
And it gets big in the harbor?
Yeah, and he said the only reason we're even fishing is because it's out of the west. So if it was out of any other direction, we couldn't do this. And it was hard to fish. Really hard. Really hard. We got a little bit of a break when we went over toward Coney Island that day, but it was rough.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Got up at 4 to meet him at.
Does he fish outside of the harbor?
Yeah. I mean, all the way out towards Coney Island, out there towards the mouth of the. They do some stuff 85 miles. They got to go 85 miles to get.
Yeah, because they go offshore.
Yeah.
Those rock fish, striped bass, they go offshore.
Tile fish.
They chase bluefin probably too.
Yep.
Off Block Island.
Sometimes they come in.
Bluefin.
They've caught them inside the harbor.
Wow.
Yeah, they get weird pushes of them. They'll push up into the harbor sometimes.
Based on the currents.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, my captain's license class, that harbor was our charting thing.
Oh. That's a good one because there's a lot of islands and structure. And
They just do the outside of it. So like Block Island Sound.
Yeah,
that
I gotcha.
Charting and plotting. The biggest waste of time.
In the history of man.
I've got a computer, 2 GPSs, a cell phone, a GPS watch, an iPad. But I need to know how to use a paper chart. Okay, bud.
Yeah, I don't get that either. I don't remember hardly anything from cabin school.
All the lights and sounds
Yeah.
and all that, yeah.
Like,
The day shapes, that's funny too.
I'm slowing down. There's a large vessel in the middle of the bay and I'm running at night. What are you doing? What are you looking for? I'm looking for the throttle and I'm pulling it back. How about that? That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older and I don't see as well, I don't run around at night that much anyway.
Problem solved.
Right.
Fogel calling?
Fogel's here and Captain Bobby Woodard.
Yeah. Captain Jim's got a good story for us. Lieutenant Coyne filled them in. They've been busy overnight. Some people went red snapper fishing who shouldn't have.
Promises made during the following program are not those of WFLA AM, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Welcome to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back, 7:06 here at the iHeartMedia Empire. Again, the great John Momola is the man behind the screen making this hideous program roll on. We appreciate him getting up early this morning and joining us for sure. Want to put a shout out to our men and women service members, both here and abroad, that make it possible for us to do what we do here for a living. Freedom certainly isn't free, so we want to give some love out to our U.S. military. What's kind of cool, that Fleet Week was the week we were there, was last week in New York City. So there was sailors and Marines everywhere, all over New York City. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All decked out in their gear.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just a neat thing to see. Again, if you're any kind of patriot at all, who appreciate that type of stuff. I was just like, while we were out there fishing, some big Navy vessels were leaving, which was kind of cool to see. Some small, looked like aircraft carriers, but they only had helicopters on them, so they're like mini aircraft carriers, because they don't need the big deck, so they're not quite as long. But they were neat to look at for sure. And the U.S. Coast Guard buzzing around, making sure nobody got too close. Don't get too close. Take your pictures from far away. But super cool. And again, just lots of love out to our U.S. military. We appreciate what you all do. Let's go to the phone lines here. Phone lines are open if you want to join us, 1-800-969-9352. Let's check in with Captain Bobby Woodard. He is up first. Bobby, how are you this morning?
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
It's going good, buddy. Man. What's up? What's up with you?
Hey, not much. Just wanted to call in and give a quick fishing report and a quick little PSA to the listening audience as well. So
we'll take it. Come on.
Fishing's been good, man. It's kind of fell off a little bit this week, coming off that moon. But I anticipate, moving forward, it's going to pick back up and we'll get those good crab flushes going again. And, bites should definitely pick back up coming up on the next moon.
Yeah, it should be a good week.
Definitely a lot of big fish around. The females are all rode up, and definitely I feel like there's been some larger tarpon caught within on the last moon and then throughout this quarter moon and moving forward. They're definitely all staged up, ready for the spawn. So
nice.
It's been cool to see some bigger fish around. Just been fun.
There will be a morning here when everybody shows up out there and they'll be like, "Where'd they go?" They went offshore.
There absolutely will be. you remember those days?
Oh yeah, they gone offshore to do the hanky panky thing. Oh yeah,
they disappear quick.
That's when you're like, well, shit, I got a full live well full of crabs. I guess we'll go permit fishing.
Exactly.
We've got other plans.
Exactly. You hope you got a nice calm day so you can get out there in your bay boat and still stick some fish for your customers. No doubt about it. Probably not on this new moon, I wouldn't guess, but on this following full moon, those fish will probably roll offshore and disappear for a quick little session and then come back. So
yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Good
but
stuff.
Hey, quick PSA for everybody, man.
Come on.
If you hire a guide, don't guide the guide.
Here we go.
This is we could do a whole show on this, bro. Go ahead.
So it's just,
Bobby is such a nice, calm guy all year. Tarpon season starts and it just brings it out of him.
It brings it out of everybody, dude. I totally understand.
We all obviously love and appreciate our clients. I mean, if it weren't for them, we wouldn't have a job. But at the same time, you two and myself, I mean, we all agree, like, nobody wants you to be successful and catch fish more so than your fishing guide does.
Right, 100%.
100%. We want you to be more successful than you want to be.
Right.
So if at first you don't succeed, try doing what your guide tells you to do.
This is always my magic. This is where I get I get that guy on the boat that just won't shut up about, we should fish over here. How come you're not doing this?
Did you see the picture of the walleye I caught last month?
It's not even that. I mean, some of the local guys, it's like, dude, why did you book me?
Yeah.
If you know so much about this dog and you got a boat, why did you book a charter captain? Like, don't get on my boat. Just go do it yourself. Why call me?
Yeah, I've had a couple recently that it's just like, you go through your little pre-spiel routine, whatever. It's like, oh, I know how to fish. Okay, cool. Well, we'll see. And then,
we'll see.
They got, Roland Martin hook sets going on. And,
oh, yeah.
It's just, keep your hand on the handle so you can crank, and then you look over and, their hands, in their damn pocket or something or whatever. It's just, so just sharing a little, guide frustration.
Don't guide your guide. That's beautiful. Well done, brother.
Classic.
Yeah, good job.
Real quick before I jump off, right to Hunt and Fish, November 2nd. Get out, vote yes, and help us out, help us preserve the rights for all future generations to come.
Lots of important stuff going to be voted on this year, no doubt about it.
Amendment 2, very important.
Yeah, good job, Bobby. We appreciate you, brother. Well done.
All right, thank you, guys.
Have
a
good
day,
buddy. You too, pal. Don't guide your guide. Tips and tricks from Captain Bobby Woodard.
You're going to make a shirt.
Don't
guide your guide.
Don't guide your guide. I love it. Let's check in with our good friend, Captain Jim Fogel, our safe boating tip of the week, our guru, Captain Extraordinaire.
Good morning.
What's up, buddy?
Good morning, guys. Well, of course, I talked about this earlier this morning. Red snapper season is not a reason to go out and get killed. It's just
Solid.
Not good.
Most overrated fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Well,
Dylan's favorite. Dylan's favorite.
I mean, we all like it. I know. But, this morning at the Coast Guard had to rescue a whole bunch of guys off of Boca Grande in one boat. Regardless of the fact, there's small craft warning up this morning. And small craft, of course, is a relative term, depending on the seas and the number of people you got out and that sort of stuff. But generally speaking, if you don't have a fairly good-sized boat, you don't want to be out there today.
Yeah.
Even if your boat can handle waves and the wind, that doesn't mean your people can't. And if you can't lean up against stand there and fish with both hands on the rod and reel, you don't need to be out there. You're just going to get hurt.
Yes, sir.
Also, please make sure your boat's ready before you go off. Make sure you've checked over it real well. Make sure all your gear is in good shape. You got a tool kit. You got extra gadgets if something breaks. You got a bilge pump. You want to make sure you test that EPIRB or personal locator beacon. They all have a test button on them. Test it out. Make sure you've got an MMSI number if you need one, and that your DSC on your VHF Marine radio is registered. Please make sure you've got life jackets and all your required gear. Make sure you've got a full tank of gas, and only use 1/3 of it going out. 1/3 going out, 1/3 coming back. You're just lucky you don't have to pay as much next time. But for goodness sake, check the weather. None of this fish is worth going out there and getting yourself killed or sinking your boat or something like that.
It's red snapper, Jim. Very important.
I know, dude. I know.
It's only open for 100+ days.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure you got a float plan filed. The boat that sank today got a Mayday off before the boat went down, and thankfully the captain did set his EPIRB off also, so he was sort of ready. Excuse me. But I'm sure it wasn't worth the helicopter ride back in.
Do we know how big the boat was that went down?
I think it was 27 feet. And if my info is correct, 8 people on it.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it was a 27-foot sea chaser.
Mm.
Yeah. 8 people total.
Do we have the lat long where it went down so we can figure out where the next artificial reef's going to be?
I know someone. I know a guy.
I'm sure the Coast Guard. I know a guy that knows exactly where it is. That's right. That's one of the benefits of working in certain places. It's just like your little junior narcs.
Junior narcs. Real Animals Pro staff. That's awesome. He's got an army of junior narcs. Capt. Mike Anderson for the win.
All right, guys. I'm gonna let you go, but let's be safe. It's gonna be good weather all weekend. Tomorrow might be better than today, but there's gonna be residual seas out there from today. So if you don't have a decent sized boat, stay home.
All right. Good job, Jimmy. We appreciate you, junior narcs.
Thanks, guys. Coast Guard Auxiliary Safety. Jim Fogle, be safe out there.
Thanks, partner.
He was trying not to laugh.
It was very funny. Yes.
That was hilarious.
Yes, well played, Jim Fogle.
Yeah, he got you on that one.
Yeah, he did. Real Animals Junior Pro Staff Summer Tournament kicks off today, actually.
Wow.
Fishing for $5,000 in 6a-8a Florida funded college scholarships. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So looking forward to getting these pictures rolling in here as the Real Animals Junior Pro staff goes to work and tries to win some goodies, Bull Bay rods, Ingle coolers, all the goodies that we give away.
He's looking forward to those great photos and geotags.
That's right, exactly. Give me some dirt.
I need metadata, kids.
That's right. That's right.
That's awesome.
Right. Only share it with my team.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. All good stuff for sure. Phone lines are open here, 1-800-969-9352.
The boat that got rescued all those people is still floating.
Is it?
It didn't sink.
Oh.
Yeah. I just got word. No new wrecks, guys. Everybody calm down.
That didn't take long. I wonder why Hubbard's Marina got voted #1 charter again in the country. Dylan's tapping into all the sunken boats out there. He's the first one to the new structure.
You gotta let it build up. You don't want to be the first one. Takes about 3 months. Let them season.
Again, phone lines 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. Let's talk a little fishing. We'll be back.
The biggest.
Yeah, dude, that was the coolest thing since I've been doing the show. Like the perks, that was the coolest thing when Lieutenant Coyne offered to let us both tour the command center.
Yeah.
And Jim Fogle and I both went together. That was so cool.
Was it?
Dude, so cool. It was so interesting. I learned so much that day. And it was so interesting, their technology, like if a boat sinks based on the size of the boat, the type of boat, how much hull it has in the water, whether it's flipped over or not flipped over, what's in the boat, they can plug all that data into this algorithm and use this fancy chart to find out where that boat would be based on the wind, the tide, the weather. It's crazy. It's really interesting.
I imagine when you're talking recovery.
Yeah, and that's how they make those search grids and stuff. Yeah. And that's why they ask you so many seemingly stupid questions when an emergency situation's happening. It's like, why do you need to know what kind of boat I have? Right. It's blue. Come find me. But it's so interesting.
Huh. That would be bad.
Brian Pugh said, got a good selection of lures coming your way, Captain Mike.
You make some bad to the bone lures, kid.
Cool.
Those are sweet little lures. I'm going to try to throw some at some tarpon maybe this evening. So he gave me 3 different sizes of them.
What are they, sexy. Like soft plastics?
Yeah, soft plastics. So really well made and great color. He's got great color on them. Good wiggle. I want you to make me a paddle tail.
Dude, we love selling locally made lures in our shop. We sell some Aragi's Rigs lures in our shop, that's made by this guy Rob Kruger locally. But I love locally made stuff because our shop's not that big, right? So there's no reason to try to compete with other tackle shops with like the big name brand stuff. So kind of those one-off unique lures is what I like to carry. So stop by, bring us a pack.
I've got hats, actually, for you in the truck.
Oh, good. Yeah, I was giving our Great Bay distributor a bunch of heat this week. He stopped by. I was like, all right, final Friday's Friday. I need 25 cases of Busch Light to give away. Free beer. And then he was like, yeah, I got them on order. And then I was like, yeah, and we're out of Real Animals Cash. Why aren't you bringing me that? And he's like, oh, yeah, we don't have any more. And I was like, what do you mean you don't have any more? He's like, yeah, we just don't have any more. I was like, no, we've talked about this. You guys are supposed to be bringing it. And he was like, well, you got to call this guy and call the boss. And I was like, no, you have it in stock. So I made a phone call, and he was like, yeah, we have 5 cases. We'll send them to you. I was like, yeah, all right, sounds good. They apparently, he said it just like comes and goes on those craft beers. And I was like, well, this is Coppertail. It's local. Like, you have to have it. And they did have it. He was just misunderstood and stopped filling our case with it. So we had 5 cases of it last night, and dude, they were pushing it.
Really?
Everybody was drinking it.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Is it the new can?
Yeah.
New cans.
We had 5 cases of the new can. We sold 3 last night.
Oh, wow.
3 cases.
No kidding.
Yeah. It was the big seller.
I haven't put my hands on the new can yet.
The guy who sells the beer, I let him try one last Final Friday, and he loved it. So he was pushing it hard last night.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I don't think the new can. I mean, it's cool. The new can is cool, but I think the first can was cooler because I had the bigger tarpon on it.
Yeah.
And it just like stuck out as a fishing thing.
I agree.
The new can is like it looks cool, but it's not. It doesn't stick out in the case as like, oh, that's a fishing.
Right.
Because I think a lot of them sold with the old can just without anybody saying anything. You look at that beer case and you're like, oh, tarpon.
Yeah.
Grab that one.
Let me take
Kind
a
of
look
like
at
that one by Big Catch or whatever with the amberjack reef donkey.
Reef donkey.
Yeah, a lot of people will grab the reef donkey just because it has an amberjack on it.
Right.
You know.
Right. Which makes no sense to me because it's an amberjack.
Yeah, I agree, but it's a fish.
It's a fish.
A fish is a fish.
Yeah. No, I get it. I like the other can too, but
Yeah.
I think they went away from it a lot because it's not.
Yeah.
That can was tied to the 300th episode. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. Remember, rainy season is coming. As I said in the last hour, and our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems got over 3 decades of roofing experience. Let Affordable Roofing Systems guide you through this important process if you've got a repair or a full replacement, a re-roof if you are in need. Nobody does it better than our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. You can give them a call today at 1-888-397-ROOF and grab you a free estimate, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. David Torres, the owner over there, and his kids have been on my boat. They are great, great people, great family. So give them a call. Dylan had his roof done by them.
Yeah,
and,
good people.
They're nice and dry.
And very fast.
Yeah, if you rolling into this season, you don't want to be behind the 8 ball here. So anything people should know, I mean, we're coming up on the new moon.
Yeah.
So the tarpon bite's should be really, really good this week. That late evening bite has been really good. I've been talking to some guys. It's interesting because I'm talking to some guys who are like, man, a tarpon bite kind of went south this week. And I'm talking to other guys that are willing to kind of push the envelope a little bit. They're fishing that late outgoing tide, almost into the darkness. And one guy didn't get off the boat until 10 p.m. But they did 16 tarpon.
Whoa.
So that bite kind of fired off right there at dark. So,
makes sense.
They're going to eat sometime.
It's hot.
Yeah, if they don't eat all day, they're going to eat sometime. And hopefully we could get, I know it's tough because when you're out there fishing and then big storms roll in, it gets tough. But a little bit of afternoon rain would help with the crab flush and all that stuff, and hopefully fire this bite off this week.
Yeah.
I've got trips this week chasing poons, and I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we have some good fishing.
Yeah, and offshore, we're focused on the red grouper. We got all of June to get our red grouper before they close at the end of June. Amberjack and triggerfish close today. Amberjack's only open May, September, and October. Triggerfish is open all year except June and July. And then we have the gag grouper season coming up, opening September 1st. And I heard NOAA is done with the projection. They got it back, and they're just sitting on the info, not giving it out yet. But we're supposed to find out by the end of June. But they told us with 2 weeks' notice what our red snapper season will be, and they gave us 2 weeks' notice on amberjack season. So I'm sure NOAA is just hanging out with that information for some reason again, not giving it out. So
Jack Wagons of the week.
Supposed to know by the end of June, but they've been saying 2 weeks for about 2 months. 2 more weeks, we'll tell you. 2 more weeks, 2 more weeks. They put in the Federal Register they would tell us at the April council meeting, and they decided to go against that. So who knows? But we should hopefully find out soon what our gag grouper season will be, and it will open September 1st, and it will be about 1 to maybe 3 weeks, but from what I'm hearing, it's leaning closer to that 1 or 2 week mark.
Wow.
Yeah, going to be tough. Very tough.
Crazy.
Yeah, and the gags seemingly are doing really well.
Sure seems like it.
And that should hopefully only continue. We got to take care of these fish. That's the big concern I have come June is, we were out there with the guys from Fox 13, and watching Dave Osterberg crush some big gags was pretty fun. He caught 2 in a row, some really big gags, and they went down strong on the descending devices. We had one that kind of fell off the descending device, and we had to recapture, and luckily had the ability to do that and get it back down. But people need to be really careful this red snapper season as we're all fishing deeper. You're going to run into those big gags. You need to have that descending device rigged and ready and send it back down. Venting works really well on those small to medium fish. If you do it quickly, you know what you're doing, where to do it. But a big gag grouper that just fought for its life is just too tired once it comes up, and you're going to want to take a picture with that fish, and it's going to be 1,000,000 degrees. That big gag grouper really needs to be put on a descending device, and it's not easy with that big fish. So you got to be ready. You got to be prepared. You need 1 or 2 guys, really 2 guys, to make it happen. So make sure you're thinking about it.
I wonder if that's part of the reason that gag grouper fishery up around Crystal River, Homosassa is so strong, because you can catch so many fish even in the summertime in the shallows,
and there's no descent,
and there isn't
release
as
mortality.
much. Well, I'm sure there's some, but I'm sure it's not nearly the same.
Yeah, that definitely helps, but I think it's because of the topography of that area, that estuary up there, and all that grass out into deeper water. That's where those age 0 to 2-year-old gag grouper live and grow up, are those seagrass beds, and
that makes sense too.
Really house a lot of our grouper, our red grouper, gag grouper. That's the big estuary is up there, and that's why we got hammered so bad, and the population dipped so much behind that red tide. Because in 2014, that red tide basically, that was the epicenter, those grass flats, and then again in 2015, it was up there really, really bad. And whenever a red tide spreads up into that area, that Crystal River, like Big Bend, grass flats area, that's when we get into a lot of trouble with the groupers, because that's where most of them grow up.
Yeah, it makes sense. Because it's the stupidest grouper fishing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's getting better and better. And as the science catches up, that'll really benefit us. But unfortunately, the science lags behind what we see on the water, and the management lags even further behind what we see on the water. I mean, we're managing based on 2019 data right now.
Crazy, dude.
It's 2024. We're 5 years behind.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right. Well, we're up against the clock here. Phone lines, again, are open, 1-800-969-9352. Got about 30 minutes left in the show. Questions, comments, fishing reports, bring them right here. We'll be back.
From the local Lexus dealers, WFLA News Desk.
You're so funny, Jim Fogle. You funny guy. Eric Bogman.
What did Eric say?
What's that?
What did Eric say?
He just watched the Ozzy show. I don't know which Ozzy show, but he just watched the Ozzy show and really enjoyed it. Good job, thanks.
Nice.
Responding to the wrong apartment and shot Forston when he opened his door. Police in Leesburg are
crazy.
Just off US 441. Anyone with information is urged to contact Leesburg Police. With Florida's news, I'm Tim Adkins.
Visit your local Lexus dealer or go to Lexus.com to find the dealer nearest you. Up to the minute traffic and weather.
75 past the university area, northbound into 75 to Weston Chapel. You are in great shape right now. See no issues at all. 275 coming back southbound through the downtown interchange and over the Howard Franklin Bridge.
Well, this is definitely the most difficult place I've ever fished. I just got blasted off that rock. You can see the waves crashing.
Beach is incident-free. I'm Pat Largo, News Radio WFLA.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
We've got another hot day in store across the Bay Area. Temperatures this morning start out in the mid-70s, but we are headed to near record levels yet again in the mid-90s here in Tampa, upper 90s further inland. There could be a few showers later in the afternoon, but only about a 20% chance, so most of us will stay dry. And as we head to the evening, temperatures dip back into the 80s, and anywhere that does get showers, everything should end by about 10 o'clock. I'm Max Offender 8 meteorologist Eric Stone.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
Summer starts early in Florida, which means we get more beach time, more sunshine, and more time to enjoy refreshing, sweet, and juicy Florida watermelon. The best part of summer is already here. Locally grown fresh from Florida watermelon. There's sunshine in every bite.
WFLA News is brought to you by the Home Retirement Wealth Advisors.
What? Lieutenant Coyne said, "Junior narc? I'm a senior narc." Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you just got to read this. Captain Jim going to the dark side.
It's true. Well, that was stupid.
I'm a senior narc.
Junior narc. I'm a senior narc.
That's what I was going to fire back at Jim. I'm like, junior narc's a strong word for someone who works for the Coast Guard Auxiliary. Volunteers.
Gene Hammond. Oh, that was Lessinger. That was on today.
The electrical panel is the heart of your home's
What?
electrical system. Malfunctions can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving
That was
your home at
Lessinger.
risk or in the dark altogether. Fixing it quickly will help keep you and your family safe. So trust our team of electrical experts at Mr. Sparky to get it done right and get it done safely. You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY. Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Lithium batteries are lighter, longer lasting, and more powerful than ever. And if you're looking to make a change, check out my friends at Abyss Battery, a Florida-based company that is revolutionizing. We caught the shit out of them on Little John's.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What, stripers?
No. Which really was too bad because the stripers that I caught on topwater, we probably could have caught them on the mirror lures that I sent up there. But he has his own, Frank has his own fin chaser series of lures. So that's what he put on there. And, you know. I'm going to do a tackle tip for that show and show some of the mirror lures that you could catch them on. Chuck. Yeah.
Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
I'm super sore. Super sore and super tired.
By Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. Putting a shout out to our good friends at Ace Heating and Cooling. Over 20 years now, they've been a name that you can trust in heating and air conditioning in Hillsborough County. Chris Myers and his guys are the best. They service all brands. They do residential and commercial repairs, maintenance, and full replacements. You can give them a call today at 813-657-8818 or look them up online at brandonac.net. Find out for yourself why Ace Heating and Cooling is the easy choice for the Real Animals Fishing team. Lots of good stuff here. Let's go to the phones. Check in with our good friend Gino. See if I can get my cursor to get to you there, Gene. Captain Gene Hammond. Gino, how are you?
There you are. How you doing, pal?
I'm good, buddy. What's going on with you, my man?
Man, what a beautiful day today, huh? Should be out fishing, but I'm
a little breezy.
I got up too late, Mike. I got up too late.
It happens, brother.
It was even breezier earlier.
Yeah.
You didn't miss anything.
A little breezy this morning.
Didn't miss anything.
No, a little breezy.
Can't go out and get those gag grouper, can we?
Not till September.
No. Red snappers.
So are we going to have, or is there a chance that we might have gags, AJs, and red snapper open all at the same time?
If you're a private recreational angler, yes. If you're a federal for-hire fisherman or fishing on a charter boat and party boat, no. September 1st, gags will open up for a week or two. Amberjack will be open for everyone September and October. Gags will be open for everybody. That season's the same. But remember, for red snapper, there's a difference between private recreation and federal for-hire. And the federal for-hire red snapper season will be June 1st through August 27th. But for private anglers and their own private boats where there's no money being exchanged, no consideration exchange, then you can fish the private recreational red snapper season, which will be June, July, closed in August, and then weekends, September, October, November. So on the weekends, the first weekend, second weekend of September, a private recreational angler and a private boat would have everything open that you can catch except for red grouper.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm glad you asked Dylan that question because that's. Damn.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Mike,
Jesus.
I know why you brought him in. Mike's not remembering all that.
No, absolutely not. Not a chance.
Teamwork makes a dream work, guys.
Not a chance. We needed a deal.
I might go try red snapper tomorrow afternoon if it lays down a little bit, so we'll see.
Yeah, there's no.
So we are off and running, gentlemen. Mike, I told you it was coming. Linesofliberty.org is up and operational.
Whoa.
Doing a trip tomorrow morning for a couple of hours for a veteran in need, and we're going to get this thing rolling and keep doing the same things I was doing before. So
well, good for
That's
you,
awesome,
man.
you can go to linesofliberty.org. You can sign up to volunteer for events. You can sign up to be placed as a veteran placed on a list to get out on the water. We'll obviously be talking to you, Dylan, to get some
for sure.
purchase some charters there for head boats and working real close with Captain Bill Rutherford up here at Vet Catch as well.
That's awesome.
I want to help all nonprofits. That's what I want to do. So
good for you, buddy.
we're off and running.
Good for you.
Yep.
Well, take care of them veterans, buddy. It's what you do. It's what you're good at, and I know the veterans appreciate you. I know I do. So
yes, sir.
Keep up the good work, brother. That's awesome.
Yeah, go to linesofliberty.org. Help us out. We need help. And you, as a charter captain, you can go in there and sign up as well.
Okay.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
We get flow days and send some veterans your way. We'll just get them out on the water.
Yeah, man.
Get them out on the water.
They deserve it. There's no doubt about that.
We've learned recently that 22 number might be closer to 17 now. It's because of all these good organizations out there helping out, I think. So
that's awesome.
Good.
That's great news.
Yeah, that is good news. Keep up the good work, Gino. We love what you do, my friend, and let us know how we can help.
Appreciate you guys. Take care.
All right, brother. Have a great day.
We got
Good
the
luck
Hall
out
of
there.
Famer on the line.
I haven't seen the Hall of Famer yet.
She's got to be calling.
You think?
Yeah. It's Star Tournament.
It is.
It kicked off.
Star Tournament. Kicked off last week.
She's got to show up.
Yeah. Let's go to Chuck in Seffner. Chuck, how are you?
Good morning, gentlemen.
What's up?
Wanted to say thanks for all you guys do. Just a shout out to you guys. Give you kudos to you. But wanted to give you guys a little fishing report. I recently had a chance to go out to the Outer Banks up there in the Carolinas. I don't know if you guys have fished out there or not.
I have not.
But we went for a tuna trip out there. Went out and it was quite rough, but we experienced a thermal barrier to where I guess the large tuna, yellowfins, were down below the water line, but they couldn't see the bait on the top, something I've never really witnessed before. But I didn't know if that was something you guys have experienced or not. Maybe Dylan has, but I don't know if that's something you guys have experienced. But we had a good trip overall. I mean, we caught a lot of triggerfish. I've never been put on the triggerfish like I did out there on that trip. But caught an Atlantic mackerel, and which was really good on the smoker. And first time I've caught one of those. But it was a good trip overall, but a little disappointing we didn't get into the tuna, obviously. But I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that.
That's cool. That's awesome. I've never really heard it called a thermal barrier, but what we encounter, especially in the summertime, sometimes fishing deep, is a thermocline is what I've always heard it called and what I refer to.
That might be what it was, a thermocline.
Yeah, and basically, as you go offshore, every 33 feet you go down underneath the water is a different pressure barrier. Right now at sea level, we have 14.7 pounds of pressure on us. Every 33 feet you go down under the water, that increases by 1. So if you're at 100 foot of water, basically you have 4 atmospheres of pressure on you. And as the pressure changes, the lower you go, you can get these thermal, I guess you could call them barriers, but thermoclines. And essentially you'll have like a cold water current, and then you'll have hot water on the top and bottom of it. And sometimes that cold water will settle on the bottom. And what'll happen is those fish get really cold and lethargic. And it also, if you do happen to catch one out of that cold water, and then you're bringing him up through that super hot water, by the time he hits the surface and hits the aluminum deck on our boat, he's freaking out. And a lot of times the release mortality is super high.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the summer, you'll notice it. You'll drop your lead to bottom. Bite's kind of slow. I don't know what's going on. You reel up and you go to grab your lead, and it will be cold to the touch. Mm-hmm. And that's how you know you're in one of those thermoclines. And it really makes fishing tough. So we have to kind of run out of those areas when we encounter it. But you definitely see it in the Gulf. I've never heard it talked about the way you're talking about it in the Gulf, where you have the cold water on top. Colder water on top that would hold more sediment and kind of make it hard for fish to see. But it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it was the first time I've been out on the coast over there. You know, I've been in the Gulf my whole life, but it was the first time we figured we'd venture out. You know, my son and I, we did a little trip, and
that's cool.
And it was quite an experience. You know, it was quite an experience, and but you know, we did what you normally do. You let the guide do the guiding.
Yeah.
Don't guide your guide.
Don't guide your guide.
There's some big scamp and big triggerfish up there, though. I've fished out of there once as a kid. It was fun.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we did. We caught quite a few of the triggerfish. It was a good trip overall. You know, a decent table fare. The triggerfish was wonderful on the table. I'll tell you, it was really good fishing. If you've never had triggerfish, make sure you get out there and try to give it a shot, because it's worth the fight.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
gentlemen, thank you.
Chuck, thank you. Great call, brother. Really, I love that. I love that fish.
We're seeing a lot of big triggerfish in the Gulf now. They've really, really taken back, and we're seeing some big girls.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like a genie come out of a bottle? Like, have you ever picked up a bottle and you just rubbed on it?
I knew it.
It's like you spoke it into existence.
Mm-hmm. We got it.
I'm like, you got a genie's bottle over there. You just rubbed on the genie bottle, and there she was, Captain Lisa Fitzgerald,
I knew it was coming.
Hall of Famer.
I felt it.
6a-8a Florida star, tournament director extraordinaire, and boom, you just speak her name, and she shows up on your call screen. It's incredible. Good stuff.
That is so funny. You guys might have telekinetics too, so who knows?
You got to tell us something. We don't know what it is, but we got to tell us something.
Good morning.
Good morning, my friend. What's going on in your world? A little busy?
Yeah, a little busy. I'm up here in really down here in Homosassa, at the Florida Cracker Women's Fishing Tournament.
Oh, nice.
We have 150 ladies out there fishing to raise money for the Florida Star Youth Scholarship Program.
Awesome.
And pretty exciting. This tournament always raises a lot of money and has been instrumental in allowing the CCA Florida Star competition presented by Yamaha to award to date $900,000 in college scholarships.
So cool.
That's awesome.
So great.
And so the exciting news is that this year we will award another $100,000, which will round out $1 million in college scholarships. So if you're wondering what CCA Florida does in other aspects of their organization, $1 million in college scholarships to kids, getting them off their Xboxes and getting them tackle boxes and fishing rods, that's what we do. And then we help them go to school. So, just a few little different things that we do.
Let's not forget that Brian Gorski came on with the Real Animals Junior Pro staff, CCA Florida, our good friend Brian Gorski, and put $5,000 in college scholarships towards the summer tournament there as well.
Yep.
I know it's not $100,000, but it's another $5,000 that they put out there, and on a whim. I didn't even ask him for it. Brian called me out of the blue and said, "Hey, I saw this on social media. This is so cool. Let's talk. How can we help? Let's get involved." And when I talked to him, he was like, "Hey, how about we give you $5,000 for college scholarships?" That's pretty cool stuff, man. And that's why I say, you hit the nail right on the head. When you're sitting around scratching your head wondering what CCA is doing, they're doing a lot. They're doing a lot. It's not just the movements politically. It's a lot of stuff here that touches local kids, which is huge.
And that, we are all over the state doing really great work. I find it so exciting, kind of disappointing that more people have gotten engaged with the organization and with the STAR competition, but we just keep trudging. I travel all over the state talking to people. You still have an opportunity to register for the competition. There is more than 90 days of fishing still left.
Right.
There's $500,000 in prizes. We've had 2 anglers already land tagged redfish, yet they weren't in the competition.
Ugh,
and
bummer.
I just, just want people to know that potentially this can happen to you. And you buy insurance for your car, you buy insurance for your house. This is fishing insurance that you don't look like some kind of
jackwagon.
Jackwagon.
Jackwagon, knothead, whatever you want to call it.
Knothead, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, definitely get yourself. Nope, you were not registered. Make sure that you're registered. It's easy. It's inexpensive. There's not another competition where you have a shot at $500,000, a contender, a deck cat, a spider, a microdraft skiff, Can-Am Sea-Doo package, Carolina skiff, and 250 Yamaha.
It's crazy.
Brand new native
awesome.
watercraft. There's just so many prizes.
I
We
agree.
award over 100 prizes.
It's a special event. The banquet is awesome, and it's such a great organization to get involved in with all that CCA Florida does. So, just become a member. If you're not a member, shame on you, but become a member, get involved in the tournament. How do they get signed up, Lisa?
They can go to the website at www.ccaflstar.com. Give us a call on the phone, 844-387-7827. We will register you right over the phone. And don't forget the secret, where to find tagged redfish. You can go to Citrus County. They have a total of 8 tagged redfish. And Charlotte County has a total of 8 tagged redfish, double what any other county has in the state of Florida. So if you're looking for a tagged redfish, come visit those counties.
You are the best. Nobody does it better. You're like the genie in the bottle. You speak her name, and she will light your phone line up. We appreciate you, my friend.
Next time you see me, I'll be wearing those legless, those pants open on the legs and have the little thing on my head just to be your genie. So,
We
y'all
love it.
have a great day.
We love it. Tell Lo we said hello, my friend. Be good.
Yes, sir.
All
Thanks.
right,
Take
talk
care.
soon. She is
Bye-bye.
the best. She is the Hall of Famer. Get involved, ccaflorida.org. I'm telling you guys, we got to have it. Makes such a big difference in our fishery. We'll be back wrapping things up on the other side, 970 WFLA. Having trouble finding a plumber or an electrician you can trust? A company that is clean. So funny. I'm like, oh, there she is. It was weird, too, because she came up like right away.
Almost immediately.
Yeah, almost immediately. I'm like, is that a genius bottle over there?
Crazy.
Novage. Had legs yesterday at lunch.
Mm-hmm. Always fun. I was talking to this guy. He was an Olympic powerlifter. He was on the USA Olympic powerlifting team, and he worked out a lot of them. And he was like, "Yeah, they train legs 9 days a week." And I was like, "How do you train legs 9 days a week? Because that math doesn't math." He was like, "Well, 2 days you do it twice a day." I was like, "So you train legs every day and sometimes twice a day?" Yeah, so I've been trying to train legs more. It's tough.
Yeah. Welcome back. Remember to check out our good friends at Relentless Perpetual Edge Knives. I'm telling you, this thing is crazy. Self-sharpening knives. They sharpen as they cut. It is like nothing I've ever seen. Absolutely the best fillet knife on the planet. Take the work out of filleting a pile of fish. Get your Relentless knives today. Go to relentlessknivesusa.com and check them out. It's
And
good
if you
stuff.
need to fillet a triggerfish, you want to have a Relentless knives.
Yeah,
you want to fillet a sheep's head, you want to have a Relentless knives. And they work.
Nobody knows better than our boys at Hubbard's there. They fillet a lot of fish. Also putting a shout out to our good friends at Power Pucks, the world's first power-supplied trolling motor quick release bracket. Really eliminates that corrosion element that comes with plugs and things with your trolling motor. Just a really, really unique device. I've had them now for a couple years on my bay boat and just put one on my new KO skiff. It's absolutely incredible. I don't know why nobody thought about it sooner, but our good friends at Power Pucks have them. Go to powerpucks.com, PWRPUX.com. It is definitely an item that all the pros are making the switch to. PWRPUX.com, Power Pucks. Check them out today. Good stuff. So what do you expect here moving forward, buddy? Looks like
we got a little bit of a breeze going on. This easterly flow is going to be around for a while. Got that high pressure kind of settled in, so it's going to be a little breezy in the morning, kind of calming down by mid-morning, definitely making things a little bit tough. So watch the weather. Be careful out there. It's going to be hot, so make sure you're staying hydrated, and hopefully it'll calm down and get a little bit more moderate and steady. It looks like the winds are going to be shifting out of the west more as we get closer to the weekend. And then we'll have a nice long period of west wind kind of settling in behind this high pressure. So we've got a new moon coming up Thursday. Tides are going to be moving slower over the weekend, but be picking up as we get into later weekend, early work week. That barometer will stabilize as well, so the bite's going to be getting better late weekend, early work week, and will only improve from there as things kind of stabilize. And then hopefully that rain will pick up, those afternoon showers, and water temperatures will moderate a little bit as well. So
yeah, they need to come down.
What we're looking at.
Yeah, they need to come down some. Our weather update always brought to you by our good friends at Reese Windows and Doors. Visit reesewindows.com for more information. Over 50 years in the business. Nobody does it better than Reese. Check them out if you are in the market. I want to put a shout out to the great John Momola, our program director here. He takes great care of us. We appreciate him coming in and making sure we can bring this radio program to you.
Yes, sir. Have you got a new date on Bartow Ford yet?
Not yet. I just got back from New York, so I haven't had a chance to get with Mike Biedenbow, but I will let you know. I'm going to reach out to Eric Bachnick, and hopefully he will be able to join us for the next one. Ooh. If you've never been to a Eric Bachnick Mirror Lure seminar,
it's a good one.
It's a really good one because he explains in depth the way each of their lures were designed and put together, the placement of the eyes and things on some of the top water plugs and all that kind of on all their plugs leads you to different actions and really being able to understand that incredible brand. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. Really
so hopefully we can get Eric to come and do this one. I was excited when I almost had him for the last one. Then we lucked out and had the great Blair Wiggins, who did a great job out there. We had a ton of cool, great people that came out there to see that. So, Blair was interesting to say the least. So
always is.
Yeah, no doubt. So we got a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be interesting here as we roll into a great month of fishing. June is a phenomenal month for us. Always is. A lot of snook on the beach. Redfish bite's still been good. There's big trout around. That tarpon bite, permit bite, offshore
black
world.
Drums kicking up too. Black drums kicking up.
Yep.
And then near shore, we got lots of lanes and mangroves, red grouper. Offshore, we're focused on those red snapper, red grouper, lots of other fish to catch. So good time to get out there. Just watch that weather and be safe and hydrate.
Lots of good stuff going on. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning at 95.3 WDAE and AM 620, the T.A. Mahoney Company Real Animals Radio Show. And most importantly,
don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy.
You are just too darn busy. Tight lines, everybody. Have a great week. We're out.
That's it. That's all she wrote. Thanks for tuning in and joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, Real Animals Sunday, 7 to 9 on WDAE, 620 WDAE. And then hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. for the live stream show. We're going to be talking fishing, answering your questions, and giving away $1,500 in free stuff. So we'll see you tomorrow night, 7:30. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 to 9. And we'll see you next week for another episode of this show right here. Same bad show, same bad channel. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you.